Today's Thursday, May 30th, 2024, the penultimate day of May, and if you're watching this in the future, this doesn't matter, but I just want to let you know that this will probably be the last of the daily videos. I'm not going to take a huge break or anything. It's just, I feel like I've done a sufficient amount of daily videos at this point, and breaks are always good. So don't expect daily videos, but I'll probably still make videos here and there. Just a lot of, it's summertime. It's getting really busy, but also, yeah, I just feel like taking a break, so I'm going to. And today's slides, today's video is called Get Help, and so I just want to look at the type of help that people are talking about getting, and I guess this could be a topic for a future video. How one of my predictions about the future is that there will be some sort of universal income, but in order to get that universal income, and this is through the Beast system, maybe this is even post Mark of the Beast, your social credit will come involved, and if you say too much stuff online that they don't like, they'll probably start yanking your money away. And another aspect of this society that I think is the writings on the wall, so to speak, is there will be mandated mental health checks for people, and mandated drugs. They'll be mandated to be put on psychiatric drugs in the future. And so just for some perspective, in the moment people always think that the authority has it figured out, that the experts are not wrong, but we look back and go, whoa, what was going on? So I just want to go through this. This is actually kind of disturbing. I didn't even know that this was a thing. I've heard of shock therapy and stuff, but did you know that there was such thing as insulin shock therapy? You can go look into this more if you want to, but this was a form of psychiatric care, I guess, used extensively in the 40s and 50s, which really doesn't feel that long ago. And so they basically, it was very labor intensive, and it had a whole staff. This wasn't it took a lot of effort to make this happen, I guess is the point. So people that were diagnosed with schizophrenia were forced into, the way that I'm interpreting it there, because I know about diabetic comas. So that's what's going on here. Shoot them up with a bunch of insulin and they're putting them in a coma. So pretty disturbing stuff. And this is, people that would get help in times past, they'd get sent off to a place, maybe they'd get lobotomized, maybe they'd get this sort of treatment done. You know what's actually interesting though? I know somebody that worked in a psychiatric place before that still did electrotherapy, sending, I don't think that it made them seize up or do anything crazy, but there was some sort of therapy offered with electro in the brain, and apparently a lot of the patients really loved it. So I don't know. This just goes to show you that there's levels to this stuff, and a lot of times they cross the line, obviously, with their treatments. It's really sad when you see people that are zonked out on psychiatric meds, and it's not always the solution. I guess kind of the point of this. What is this about? Get help. I don't think I need to get help. I think that I already have all the help that I need in being a follower of Jesus, and I think it's crazy when people, just because I have weird opinions, because I don't believe in what the history books say and what textbooks say about stuff with the cartoons, and because I learned all that stuff in school and I decided, yeah, I don't believe that anymore. It just really is not convincing to me anymore. I'm going to decide for myself stuff. If you take that approach to life, where you're going to not believe the TV, you're not going to believe everything that's written in the textbooks, people will come at you get help. But how ironic is it that most of those people are the ones that are on some sort of psychiatric medication. It's so common. And doctors these days, I would say that this is one of the medical crises of this generation, is how many people get put on drugs for mental things. And just my personal opinion is that it's probably spiritual a lot of times. And I'm not saying that mental health doesn't exist, but a lot of it is probably spiritual sickness that people today really don't have a spiritual life a lot of times, because they're totally helic and they believe all the outer space nonsense, and they think it's super smart to be they think that not believing in God makes you smart. And I guess the irony of that is that they get mental, a lot of these people that they think they're smarter because they don't believe in God, they have mental issues. But I think that's like a spiritual thing coming into play. I think mental health really oftentimes is spiritual. Or another crazy thing is that, doctors, a lot of doctors these days go out of their way to ask prying questions. They'll ask something like, so have you felt down in the past couple of weeks? And they'll be like, yeah, I'm going through whatever. If they're responding truthfully, they might say that. And then the doctor wants to shove pills on them. And it's like, part of life, it's normal to not feel good all the time. And most of the time, people are depressed for valid reasons, I would say. I would say most depression, it's totally valid. Yeah, I see why you'd be depressed. Life is depressing. And a lot of people live in really depressing situations, and society today is extremely depressing. So I don't think a pill is necessarily the answer to that. You need to find ways to cope and, yeah, establish better habits. People I've known that are very depressed, it's like, well, you're not really, I don't see you putting in a lot of effort to change your circumstances. And a lot of it, I really think, is caused by the BAFO system. It's a depressing thing. The whole Orange 33 Club, it's not cool. It's really, really lame, and it causes a lot of mental health, I think. So, yeah, that's it for this video. I'm just going to read, it's not totally it, but that's it for my rambling. I'm going to read from Revelation chapter 21, because it's something that I think about, how, yeah, life is depressing and sucks, but I don't think it's because I have some sort of problem. I think that life is just depressing and sucks a lot of times, and I don't think that I need medication because of that. And I certainly don't think that just because I have unique opinions, you might say, I don't think I need a psychiatrist. I think that anybody can reasonably watch my videos and know that I'm not like a schizophrenic on the side of the street, that you are able to have out there opinions and have mental health as well. So, Revelation chapter 21, this is something to look forward to. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. And I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming down from God out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven, saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and God himself shall be with them, and be their God. And God shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow, nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. And so that's, I think, some of the most optimistic parts of the Bible. Maybe I should keep going because there are warnings. What's the opposite of that? If you don't make it to heaven, it's not a good ending for everybody. And so I guess may as well keep going. And he that sat upon the throne said, Behold, I make all things new. And he said unto me, Write, for these words are true and faithful. And he said unto me, It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him that is athirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. But the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. And, yeah, I don't think that the Hollywood representations of hell are what's going to actually happen. The Bible certainly talks about fire and brimstone. It also mentions outer darkness at certain points. I think it's a really cool area of Bible study, honestly. And yeah, it's not a good happy ending for everybody, but there is help, and there's only one way to God, and that's through Jesus Christ. And that's why I do feel fine. But after you find Jesus, you have to remember your first love and to stay on the narrow path. That becomes the challenge. The first part of your life is trying to get there, trying to find Jesus and realize that he is the truth. And after that, it's staying on the narrow path. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed the daily videos while they lasted. And yeah, it's always good to take a break sometimes. God even rested after 6 days of creation, so maybe something interesting will come out of it. Hope you enjoyed. God bless everyone.